Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a warning. The video that you're about to see was recorded before the firing of Chip Kelly. I think I got some fire takes in it, and I went balls to the wall to say the least. But I just wanted to let Raider Nation know, just because we came back to the studio late here. I'm literally recording this at 12:47 a.m. Gage has been here since 8:30 in the morning helping me get it started. But I just wanted to let Raider Nation know that what you're about to see was filmed before the firing of Chip Kelly. Raiders' proper reactions after a fucking embarrassing, terrible, fucking terrible, I don't even know other words I can possibly use. Look at me. I'm going fucking insane watching this Raiders team. And honestly, I calmed down a little bit after the game because 24-10 is an ass kicking. But then I saw Geno Smith throwing up birds to Raiders fans, and I lost my fucking mind. And I have lost my mind because the Pete Carroll Raiders are a absolute disgrace to everything that what it means to be a Raider. And coming up here on today's show, I'm going to warn you. Look at me. I'm going to lose my flipping mind. And if you want Raiders videos and if you feel this exact same way, because I feel like the guy that I see on this show, it's like aliens, and he's like, aliens, man, it's crazy. It's crazy because the Raiders are out of this world bad, and it's the worst Raiders team of all time. I think the Raiders team that you saw against the Cleveland Browns is the worst Raiders team of all time. That team wouldn't beat anybody. I hope you subscribe. We are going to be going live today here on Monday at noon Eastern time. And I'm ready and I'm waiting because somebody's going to get fired today. If nobody gets fired today, then I'm coming for Pete Carroll's job, and I'm coming for you, Mark, and I hope you're ready for it. Let's go to the first proper reaction over after that Browns loss. The Las Vegas Raiders should suspend Geno Smith. This is for just win, babies. Believe it, baby. As soon as I saw the video of Geno Smith flipping off Raiders fans, I lost my effing mind. And then I started to do a little bit of homework, and I started to dig, and I looked up conduct detrimental to the team. Geno Smith flipping off Raiders fan does qualify conduct detrimental to the team. And it is time for John Spytek. I have texted John Spytek, and I probably am never going to be able to text him again. He's probably going to block my number, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit because I want John to understand our frustration. But John Spytek needs to step up and be a general manager. He needs to step up and take action because when your quarterback flips off Raiders fans, I don't give a shit how bad the game was. If people pay their hard-earned money and you don't think that they're going to be mad after watching this team play as bad as what this team has played, after Josh McDaniels, after Antonio Pierce, and where we are now, we are moving backwards over and over and over and over again. So yeah, people are going to go crazy. People are going to boo. But not only are people booing, how can you as a quarterback, Geno, flip off fans when you fucking said right here, you said to blame you. We're blaming you, and you're a laughingstock. I can't believe I ever rocked with Geno Smith. I can't wait. I'm going to wear my shirt, the double bird shirt. Get ready for it on Monday because I'm wearing it because I can't wait, and I'm crossing my fingers that I get a notification on Monday that the Raiders have suspended Geno Smith, that the Raiders have fired Pete Carroll, that the Raiders have fired Chip Kelly, Brennan Carroll, anybody fucking associated with Pete Carroll. Because I'm done with Geno Smith. And anybody that thinks, Mitch, you're overreacting, we shouldn't suspend him, conduct detrimental to the team. I encourage you to look it up. Essentially what that means is the Raiders can void Geno Smith's contract. Raise your hand. Like the video. I don't know how many hands I can put up into the air right now. Raise your hand if you would love to be able to get out of the Geno Smith contract. Raise your hand, like the video, if you'd love to be able to never see Geno Smith put on a Raiders jersey again. Because I'll tell you this right now. If Al Davis would see Geno Smith wearing a Raiders jersey, flipping off his own guys, he would not even let him. He would not even let him to show up to practice the next day. I would text him, I would call him, and I'd say, your services are no longer needed. I mean, honestly, it would probably help us out. You would win your fans over, Mark. You would win your fans over. Honestly, Pete, you might be able to keep your job if you suspend him. He's doing awful things to Raiders fans. He's having family members reach out to people like myself and other content creators because he can't take the heat. He can't take the heat. I thought that's why they paid you the big bucks. I thought you liked to be with your man back up against the wall. You play better. I am sorry if this is the first time you were watching this show, and I apologize for how frustrated I am. But the Las Vegas Raiders should suspend Geno Smith, and they should take every penny from him because he's taken every ounce of dignity I got as a fan. Void Geno Smith's contract. 4 just win, babies. Believe it, baby. I don't want him to make another dime because he hasn't made a dime all season long on the football field. He's got real leadership problems, and I always used to say, back in the Josh McDaniels era, that teams take on the identity of their leaders. And the Las Vegas Raiders, underneath this team right now, is taking on the identity of Pete Carroll, and it's taking on the identity of Geno Smith, and you can't tell me otherwise. Next proper reaction after our ass kicking against the Browns. I'm going to send a warning to Pete Carroll. And this one again for just win, babies. I don't want to say fire Pete because, Pete, you have one opportunity for me not to say fire Pete Carroll anymore. Your opportunity is to suspend Geno Smith. Prove to me. Prove to all of Raiders fans. Prove to the entire nation that you care more about Raider Nation, the Raiders, the Shield, commitment to excellence, more than you care about Geno Smith. If Geno Smith is not suspended, if Geno Smith doesn't get conduct detrimental to the team, or we got to at least try. If those two things don't happen, and then the very latter, if you don't have the stones to bench your baby, Geno, then you better bench him. And if Geno Smith is not benched, then I'm telling you right now, Pete, I have been nice compared to what I'm about to turn into. But I'm going to turn into this monster because it's the monster you have created. Pete Carroll, you are literally Frankenstein's creator. And I feel like an absolute lunatic. I feel like an absolute idiot. But I feel like a lunatic and an idiot because you guys are making idiotic and lunatic type of decisions. Pete, I said this to Josh McDaniels, and I'll say it again. The most frustrating part about the Raiders right now is the arrogance, is the ignorance. And they show week in and week out. They are ignorant on offense, on defense, on special teams. And whatever statement Pete Carroll made after the game, which made, I'm telling you this right now, absolutely, positively no sense. And I'm going to try to find it right here. He was asked about the struggles of the offensive line of Chip Kelly, and he said, you know, you mentioned execution of players. Former USC head football coach John McKay once asked, what do you think of your team's execution? He said, I think that's a good idea. Carroll laughed. I never did really understand how he was willing to say that, but I just did it. It's time to take the keys away from Pete. Just like people take their keys away from grandma, just like they take their keys away from grandpa, it's time to take the keys away. And if Pete Carroll wants to remain the Raiders head coach, that's fine. I just don't want him to make any personnel decisions. Just put him in the corner, let him wear the head coach badge, give him a high five here and there, but it's time to clean house, man. I can't believe I'm saying it. We are the worst Raiders team of all time. Tonight, the Raiders team that played the Browns in Week 12 is the worst Raiders team of all time. There's not another Raiders team that would lose to the team that was put on the field today. 10 sacks, and you're not going to play Caleb Rogers in a blowout game again. It's ignorant, Pete, and I hate saying it, but you're being ignorant, and you're making Raiders fans hate you. You know who else is making Raider fans hate you? Geno Smith. Time to make the change, Pete. Time to make the change. You know what? I look like a lunatic, and I think you're a lunatic if you don't get started with our sponsor, PrizePicks. And this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports, unless you're a Raiders fan. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, number one draft pick watch parties. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. That's on PrizePicks. Now, I love PrizePicks, even though my lineup did not go $80. I still felt pretty good about it. I got the Shedeur INT. I got the less on the rushing yards, receiving yards more, rushing yards there for Genty, and the fantasy score on Geno. I was able to win $17.50, and I might invest that money in writing a letter to Mark Davis, or I'll just give it to my buddy who's neighbors with him and say, hey, man, sooner or later, shit's got to change. And I need to be somebody in that organization that's calling the shots because it's a disgrace to all of Raider Nation. But I can't get off track here because I do love PrizePicks. And it's fast, safe, and secure. You pick more, you pick less. It's really about as simple as putting Geno Smith's you-know-what on the bench. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Proper reactions after the Browns game. Fire Chip Kelly. You can call him Kettle Cooked Kelly. He's terrible. He's so bad. He's so bad. This Raiders offense is terrible. And again, I get to the point where I say the same things every single week. Geno Smith sucks. Offensive line sucks. Chip Kelly's play calling is terrible. It's the same thing over and over. What's actually crazy, I actually think Chip Kelly did a better job today than what Geno Smith did. I mean, Geno missed wide open throws down the field to Trey Tucker. I don't know how many times Geno Smith missed a deep ball to Trey Tucker. But I'll also say this. When you look at the certain play designs, when you look at the predictability, Chip Kelly is so predictable. How many times did he run today on second down? How many times did we run mesh pistol? You know, like, I know I've been saying this all year long, and I think what it's going to take is more guys like Richie Incognito. Keep it going, man. Incognito's been talking just how bad Chip Kelly has been. And I think people, when they hear former NFL players, former Raiders players, they stand up, they say what they are thinking. More and more people are starting to listen. Did you hear how many times on the broadcast on Sunday in that game, how many times the announcers were like, this is like, I can't believe they're doing this. This is dumb. This is idiotic. When announcers watch the game and people are like, man, I can't believe this. I got done with the show today, and our Browns guy came up to me. A few guys from Chat Sports came up to him like, is that what the Raiders look like every game? Yep. That's what the Pete Carroll Raiders look like every freaking game. They are a disgrace, and I hate how bad they are. It breaks my heart. I don't want to be like this. I want to be able to give actual analysis. I want to be able to talk about a game, and I want to be able to talk about real things. You know why, though, I also can't do it? Because Pete hired his Nepo son, Brennan Carroll, and you should fire his ass too. 20 sacks allowed. 20 sacks allowed in the last 3 games. And you know what's crazy? That actually doesn't bother me as much as the Raiders being as awful as what they've been the previous 2 weeks. And then you look at the tape from that Monday night game against the Cowboys, and imagine how much of a I was going to say a word that I've never said before. Imagine how much of an ass you have to be. Imagine how ignorant you have to be. Imagine how much pride you have, or I guess little pride you have in yourself to do things that, again, just make no sense. But my point here is, I don't know how our coaching staff watched the tape against the Dallas Cowboys and decided to go with the exact same offensive line of Stone Forsythe, Dylan Parham, Will Putnam, Jordan Meredith, and DJ Glaze. Watching that tape on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys, I thought to myself, even the Pete Carroll Raiders, even Brennan Carroll, no way they're going to do it again. You know, you activate Caleb Rogers, there's a chance that he's going to get into the game. And then guess what? They go with the same offensive line. So after you watch one quarter where your quarterback gets sacked, I don't know how many times, second quarter gets sacked, I think, 7, 8 sacks going into halftime. In my mind, I'd be like, all right, we tried to do it. It's been just disaster for 6 straight quarters. Now it's time to finally put in our young rookie in Charles Grant, or maybe even a Caleb Rogers. Nah, takes an injury to Jordan Meredith. Jordan Meredith gets hurt. Will Putnam gets benched. And this is where I lost my mind. You benched Will Putnam. You put in fucking Alex Kappa. You're still trying to evaluate a 34 or 33-year-old Alex Kappa instead of getting the proper diagnosis from a Caleb Rogers. And if Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant are this bad, then again, it's our coaching staff not being able to properly evaluate talent. not being able to properly coach people, and a clear disconnect in the front office. Jordan Meredith goes down. You already benched Will Putnam for Alex Kappa, and instead of putting out Caleb Rogers, you put Will Putnam back in the fucking game. You put him back in the fucking game. Excuse my language, but you put him in the fucking game again. Ignorance. You guys are ignorant, and that's the problem. You're so ignorant that you can't get out of your own way, and anybody that wants the Pete Carroll Raiders to continue, anybody that wants Brennan Carroll to continue, anybody that wants Geno Smith to continue, anybody that wants Chip Kelly to continue, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry, you are. You're a fucking moron. Let's go to the final thing here. Let's end it on a good note. It's time to start Aidan O'Connell. This is for Just Win Babies. Give me something to root for. Give Raiders fans something to root for. Geno Smith is not the leader of this team, and I'm telling you right now, if Geno goes out there at quarterback, I actually think you're going to lose fans. And I never even thought people would turn on this team, but I've never seen Raider Nation down this bad. I mean, it's the worst that it's ever been. It's really, truly the worst it's ever been. And if Pete Carroll, if Chip Kelly, if any of these coaches want to save their job, there is actually only one person that can do it. Maybe two. If you want to roll with Kenny Pickett, sure. I know some people are going to say Cam Miller. It's not fair to Cam to stunt his growth. And at this point, I don't want to stunt Cam Miller's growth as a young quarterback with this offensive line. But put out Aidan O'Connell. Put him out there. Do I think he's really going to do much better behind this O-line? No, I don't. But at least it gives me something to root for, because Al Davis would never, and I mean Al would not put Geno out there on the field. And I don't like speaking for Al. It's not probably my place to do it. But I think any Raiders fan, let me know down below how long you've been a Raiders fan. Am I the only one that thinks that Al Davis would suspend or put Geno Smith on the bench? Imagine Al Davis seeing the Las Vegas Raiders quarterback throw up a bird. I think Al Davis would grab Geno Smith by the neck. I think he'd look at him dead in the eyes, and I think he'd say, I never want to see your face again. That's my personal opinion. The only way that you're going to save this season is to fire everybody associated with Pete Carroll, get rid of everybody tied to Geno, Brennan, Chip Kelly, get rid of them all, start Aidan O'Connell. You're still going to be a bad team. You're still going to have an opportunity for the number 1 overall pick. Because I'll tell you this, you're not going to beat the Chargers. You're not going to beat the Broncos. You're not going to beat the Eagles. Not going to beat the Texans. Maybe you beat the Giants. I don't think you're going to beat the Giants. And you're not going to beat the Chiefs. The Raiders are going to end this season with 2 wins and 15 losses after winning week 1, and you barely beat the Tennessee Titans. I will say this because I mean it. The Raiders right now with Pete Carroll are the worst team in the NFL. If they played the Tennessee Titans 10 times, the Titans would beat them 10 times. I'm not kidding when I say it. It's the worst Raiders team I've ever seen. And there's one person to blame. No, I'm just kidding. It's Pete Carroll is honestly the one that needs to get blamed. It's Mark Davis that needs to get blamed. I am heartbroken. I am sad that I have to act like such an asshole on social media, that I have to act like this on a show around a team that I love, that I cover every day. There's a reason why we have over 5,000 videos. It's because nobody has commitment the way that we've shown. But I mean it when I say it. Geno Smith, I fucking hate you. Geno Smith, I hope you go somewhere else. And I hope that John Spytek steps up, and I hope they file for conduct detrimental to the team. Somebody will get fired today, and I'm going to be live on the Raider Report, noon Eastern time. Buckle up, Buttercups. It's going to be a hell of a ride, and I can't wait to ride this freaking shit show with y'all. Figure it out, Pete. Figure it out, Mark. Figure it out, John. Geno, fuck you.